What's good, YouTube? Welcome to another video, and it's your whoa. It's been a minute. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy TK, and we back. We back like a heart attack, like we never left. Um, this is a big change. It's a big change. We stream live on Kick and on Twitch, and we're recording for the YouTube channel, live journaling documentation. We're gonna start it off. We're gonna start off the stream with some prayer first before we get off into anything else, and then I'll go into explaining what y'all looking at and what we'll be looking at going further and further into the stream. So to start us off, am I in the right place? Let's get open session prayer, and open session starts at 8:30. It's 8:48, so I'm a little late, but you know what I'm saying? CPT. It is what it is. All right. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for life, living family, health, wealth, and strength. Thank you for blessing myself, my family, my friends, and everyone in this chat around the world, Father. I pray for their health. I pray for their mentality. I pray for their spirituality. I pray for their healing. I pray for everybody to have a peaceful and positive day, week, month, and year, and especially the rest of this year going into 2026. With all that's going on in the world, we definitely need the love and positivity going around. All praise to the Most High God. Let it be so. All right. Now that that's out the way, let's see what we get into first. Bro, why are you sleeping on peakpie.com? Huh? What is this? Remove the space? Aslam Mazel. What are you talking about, bro? Anyway, okay. So where do I want to start first? I think I want to start my watch list first, to be real with you. Yeah, let's start with watch list first. We're gonna pull that out. And we're gonna pull this all the way down. And we go through both portfolios. So I have open positions on WWR and MRNY and B2GOLD, which you see currently. This is a paper trade position, but I also have a live position open on Robinhood. We're gonna get into my 3 active positions, what I'm holding currently in my portfolio, and what I'm speculating on either buying shares in or getting options in later on this year into 2026, and going forward if I want to hold it for a leap longer than that. After we finish all of that, then I'm gonna do a little Bible study, quick Bible study, and end it off because my wife has to go to work and I gotta swap out with her so I can be with the kids. But we gonna go through ticker symbols. We gonna go through the last price, the change today, and then we're gonna go through my current plays. We're gonna go to Robinhood. We're gonna go through my current play on here because it's paper trading once again. And then we're gonna go on Robinhood, and I'm gonna show y'all more into my actual portfolio. My actual portfolio, I'm trying to go from $100 to 10K right now. That's the challenge I'm doing, $100 to 10K. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be quick, but it's damn sure gonna be worth it. So with that being said, first and foremost, we're gonna do one at a time. Y'all saw all of them on this list. Well, there's more going down further, but we'll get down there. Y'all saw the first half on the list, starting with WWR, West Water Resources. Um, Last price is 92 cents. Current change since market open is 0.02, and the change overall, I think for just the month, is 3%. Now, their earnings statements in the past 75 days, they release earnings. Their volume is pretty low. Their average volume, the 30-day, is also pretty low. That's only 3 mil. And their average volume on the day is 192K, which is not necessarily the best. That's why their ticker symbol is so low. Now, I have options on this expiring, I want to say May of 2026. So I have time. I have time, and my take profit is $3. So it doesn't have far to pivot up for me to close. Market cap is at 108, so they got a good amount of room to work with. Is there anything else I should go through in here? The performance yearly has been good. On the week, it's up 6%. On the month, it's down 18%. On the 3 months, which is I think is a quarter, don't quote me. It's either 3 or 6 months. I think a quarter is 3 months. They're up 18%. 6 months is up 80, which is good. 23% year to date, and for the 1 year, 2024 to 2025 end, is up 42%. This is their start of the year. And we're just gonna go through that real slow, but not too slow. Y'all can watch the decimal percentages, but I'm really just trying to show you the graph lines per se, because it's basically flatlining, and then it starts to have a massive spike in October, just for it to come back down and crash. But yeah, so technicals right now are currently, I need to put this mouse down here so it's easier for me to use. Technicals right now are currently, can I move this? I don't even know if y'all can see. Yeah, I can't just open my head. Okay, cool. Technicals right now is currently summary, which means all the technicals put together is sell. So it's heavy sell, almost strong sell. That's why the symbol is so low, because it's been, I feel like it's been heavy sell off since the last time the big run up happened in October. It's been crazy amounts of sell off, but currently for the month of December, some indicators are flipping to buy. They went from neutral or sell to neutral, and from neutral to buy on some of them. You'll start to see the oscillators is at buy, the moving average is still at sell, but based off price action and day-to-day volume, the moving averages change their technicals. I'm trying to get this X right here. Change their technicals as fast as price action happens. So it doesn't really take long for price action to change. And right now it's a 10 to 4. So all they need is more neutral. You have to have more buy. They just need a more of a neutral to buy ratio, which will change it from sell to neutral to buy to strong buy. Meaning it could take a spike today in the next 30 minutes and be at strong buy for moving averages. So I want y'all to take everything into consideration, and that's what makes up this summary. This is on a 1 day. We can go 1 minute. We can go all the way up from the 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minutes to the 1 month. We should probably look at a grand scheme, but seeing that I'm showing y'all a day-to-day right now, I'll stay on a daily. So past moving averages, your relative strength index is neutral, stochastics neutral, commodity channel is neutral, average directional index is neutral, awesome oscillators neutral, momentum is very important. It's currently at buy. MACD is at buy. Stochastics RSI is at neutral. Williams percent range or Williams fractal is at neutral. Bull bear power, the ratio between the two of bulls and bears, are at neutral. Ultimate oscillator, which is another form of the oscillator, is just working up the ranks of what how sharp and real-time data the oscillators get, is what it's basically doing, is at neutral. So it's so close to being buy, but it's still at neutral. It's probably going to take a little bit of price action from it to move from that 92 cents to $1 for it to be full on buy on all these indicators, truthfully. Moving averages, this is where we get to why the ratio looked like this right here. A 10 sell, 1 neutral, and buy 4 ratio, because most of the indicators that go for moving averages, the 10 MA, this is exponential, so it's even more sharp to the point, is on sell. Simple moving averages is still to the point, but exponential is as sharp as it can get, I personally believe, is on buy. So simple moving average, big I guess big sense is the word, 10 MA, 10-day EMA. So the price action over a collective 10-day period is on buy. Exponential moving average 20-day over the price over 20 days, price action over a 20-day period is still sell. You have a lot of sells, 20-day, 30-day EMA, 30-day EMA. Exponential, simple. It doesn't matter if it's the basic. It doesn't matter what type of MA you're using. If you work your way from the 10 MA up to, I personally go as high as a 300-day EMA, and they're mainly sell. That's why you have that 10 to 1 neutral to buy 4 buy ratio. That's the 1, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. But majority of them are sell. and that's a 30-day, the 50-day, the 50-day, the 100-day, the 100-day, the 200 days of buy, the 200 days of buy, and then weighted moving average is sell. The only one that's neutral currently on moving averages is, I'm about to butcher this name, Ichimoku baseline. I don't even know what that is. I don't even use that, so I don't really care if it's on neutral or not personally. But yeah, and then we get into pivots, and I would like to emphasize this bottom piece right here. Let me move myself out the way so I can emphasize this. I want to emphasize this bottom piece right here, and I'm actually going to put this in the beginning of the upload for YouTube, because I don't want anybody going based off what I say and messing themselves up trying to trade in these markets based off the information I give currently, trying to do it later on in the day when the information isn't as valid, because it's more real-time data to use when you go enter whatever you see. This say you see later today and you want to trade tomorrow morning or the day after, you're already late to the punch. This information is already changed because real-time data has come out, or news has come out, or the company had a development, and now all of these indicators are different. So don't try to enter based off what I say. This is not financial advice, and I'm going to read this out loud for very, 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 very big emphasis. Be warned. This information isn't a recommendation for what you should do personally. So please do not take the data as investment advice. As with any trade, always look first, then leap. I'm going to personally re-emphasize what is just said. Do not take what I say as investment advice. Take what I say as a grain of salt, as an opinion. You have your own thesis. You have your own opinion. You have your own technical analysis, and you can put it with mine. You can put it with 2, 3 other mentors. You can put it with whatever you see on the Bloomberg or Yahoo Finance, and then go from there with your own thesis. But don't go based off what I say. This is not investment advice. This is not investment advice. This is not investment advice. This is what I'm personally doing. This is live trading and digital journaling. I just want to put big emphasis on that. All right. Moving on from here. Moving on from the big window, we'll go back into the minor details. Now, I was gonna go down this whole list, but it's already 9 o'clock. My girl gotta go to work at 10, which means I have roughly about 15-20 minutes to finish this, so that way we can properly transition out with the kids, responsibilities and whatnot. So I'm gonna try to speed run, but whatever I miss, I promise, whatever I miss, I'm going to pick up and finish answering in a later video. If you have any questions, I'm gonna have to send my PC into NZXT to get repairs on the GPU. So I'm gonna be filming off my phone, so I won't be able to answer any live questions in chat. I will need you guys to type in the comment section. I'll take it from the comment section, answer it in live video, so that way each person gets attended to. But moving from the indicator window to just the grand scheme, summed up, rounded up indicators, we have the technical first, which we just went through. Analyst rating. So this is what analysts are saying that the company's valuation is, and what they feel like the sentiment is in the market right now. Right now, it's a strong buy. You're gonna start to see Westwater Resources, in my personal opinion, move from the 91 cents area is the best word for it, like the 91 cents. Right now, it's currently in supply, so the 91 cent supply zone up to, I want to say, once it breaks supply and makes supply demand, it's going to move up to that $1.20, $1.25 area. That's why they're saying it's a strong buy right now, because later on today, you're going to see a boost in Westwater Resources. MRNY. This ticker symbol right here, this I think is laser imaging and X-ray, and they don't work on pharmaceuticals, but they work in some type of other technology, like biological technology. It's mRNA is the actual stock. Yield Max is what makes it MRNY. It's an ETF form of the actual company. ETF is basically an exchange tradable fund used to keep the market cap at a certain place, keep the price action in a certain ratio, but capitalize on dividend payouts, versus the actual mRNA stock, the laser technology and other biological technology stock, they don't pay dividends, I don't believe. So in order to get a dividend and get more bang for your buck, some people use ETF versions of the actual stock, like how Tesla has the ticker symbol TSLA, but if you were to trade TSLY or TSLL, it's cheaper. It gives you more dividend payouts, and to me personally, the volatility is a lot less. Like, you don't have these big 20%, 30% fluctuations throughout the day. With that being said, MRNY had stock reverse stock split recently, so it was way less than this in price. They got it up to here in price, but today and for a while now, MRNY has been negative. Now I'm not gonna spend so much time on this because I'm personally gonna close this contract very soon. I'm gonna get to about break even, hopefully, God willing, get to about break even and close out this contract. This is also a May expiration as well on this contract. I'm gonna show y'all later when I leave TradingView and hop in Robinhood, but this is a May expiration contract. I'm probably gonna close it a little bit before then. B2GOLD is the most important piece of content in this video. B2GOLD is my most current value play, and I think my biggest play going forward, because I'm going to use B2GOLD as a cheaper format of trading gold, and I want to stick to gold not permanently and not solely. I'm going to incorporate other things, but I'm definitely going to be a gold head for a while. So with that being said, B2GOLD's price valuation right now is at $4.47. Right now, currently it was down 0.03 percent, but now it's only down 0.02%. It's up. It's up in my personal opinion, and it's higher valuation than what I feel like it should be, but that's not a bad thing. Overall, for I believe the month right now, no, my bad. Overall, for the day right now, it's down 67%, and minute to minute right now it's down 0.03%. Now coming further down to technicals, their earnings statements report is in the next 83 days. Their last one, I believe it was around my birthday. Volume on the day is almost 1.5, so that's not bad, but it's not good. Average volume in the 30-day time frame is 41 million. 41 million. So you see the big difference in today's volume versus the actual volume that it has within 30-day time frame. So it's not necessarily bad volume today, but it is a Wednesday, and it's not necessarily going to be the biggest, craziest trading day because no news has broken, and gold's valuation has kind of been like not at its roof, but close to it. I feel like its roof is 4,500, and gold's valuation right now is like 4,200, and it's been a consolidation period. So I don't expect B2Gold being I wouldn't say mimicker, but mirror, if that's even a word, of gold's actual price. I don't expect B2Gold to move past $4.60. That's the highest I feel like it's gonna get today. So with that being said, market cap is at 5 billion. So you see they have a lot of room to play with the millions that they're playing with right now and how high they can get. With that being said, let me see if there's anything else I need to touch on in here. For my dividend heads, how I just went back to the ETFs. Dividend yield on B2Gold, 3.48%. I want y'all to keep that in mind, and they pay out regularly, so I want y'all to keep that in mind. If y'all are looking for any good dividends from quality companies, it's not investment advice, but just something for you to look into on your own time and do some personal research, see if it works out for you, and if it's best for your investment portfolio and your current strategy. Earnings, they're below earnings. Q4 2024, Q1 2025 they were above earnings. Q2 2025 they were a little bit below. Q3 2025 they met earnings, and Q4 is yet to be announced, but will be coming in the next 83 days. Q4 2025, I feel like they're gonna beat earnings by a little bit. It'll have them like a little bit right here above this white line you see right here. Now with that being said, dividend payouts 60%, dividend yield. Last dividend payout is, oh, that was 2 days ago. That was 2 days ago. I gotta check my Robinhood. Okay. Juicy part. This is where we get to the meat. Performance on the week is up 2%. On the month is up 7%. On the 3 month, I keep saying I'm not sure if it's 3 to 6 months or not, but on the quarter it's up 7%. On the 6 month time frame, our performance is up 20%. On the year to date, it's up 78%, and on the year 2024 to 2025, like full on year, it's up 59%. So that's not bad at all. That's actually really good versus the stagnation and flatline that WWR was doing and MRNY was doing. B2GOLD is my better player of the three for sure. I have shares in almost everything else that I'm gonna show y'all after I get off of B2GOLD. But these three that you see right now, on my watch list are the current plays that I have. I'm gonna go more into detail about live valuation when I get to my Robinhood. But you see, as I skim through the performance from January to now, it was a little stagnation, consolidation, but for the year, gold has been doing good in my opinion, and technicals have been doing very well. Right here was the high of the year, October 15th. I feel like a lot of stocks had a great month in October. Some didn't do too well because of the government shutdown, but we can only control what we can control. We can't stress what we can't control. So certain stuff will happen, wars will break out, people will be laid off, or governments will have problems and close or cut rates or not cut rates, or it's always a different influence. I wouldn't say manipulation. I wouldn't say like crash. I would just say certain things make the market go up and certain things make the market go down. It has a big influence on it. And you have geopolitics, you have economics, you have financials and earning statements, and then you have just blood bone raw price action when you get into the charts. And people use all three, but some people only use price action. They don't even study the economics or geopolitics or the earning statement. Well, earning statements and financials they do, but the big stuff going on with the governments and the world and stuff like that, a lot of traders don't even focus on that. They just go strictly price action. And I'm trying to make my way into being one of those traders where I don't stress news and I don't be glued to I was gonna say Bloomberg or Yahoo Finance. I'm strictly technicals, and I could actually capitalize off of real time momentum and volume instead of being nervous or anxious about something making the stock tank or shoot up, depending on what type of play I'm in at the moment, if that makes sense. So coming past October 15th at its high, it started to make a sharp decline up until November 5th. Then from November 5th, it started to make its way back up until the current valuation. That was from yesterday. It's not today. After today, the market will post a new analytic. So it sharply declined up until November 5th. Came up a little bit on the 10th and dropped further on the 19th, and then since the 19th it's been on a steady incline, but it's starting like it's going to meet another area of consolidation. We're gonna get further into that when we hit the charts for sure. But it's a strong buy, which is good. All technicals is a strong buy. We're gonna go through the full technical list like we did with WWR. So summary: strong buy. Oscillators at neutral is 1 sell, 8 neutral, 2 buy. So you see, compared to WWR, me going through moving averages and oscillators and the grand scheme summary with those indicators on that company and its valuation versus B2GOLD Corporation on their company and their valuation, how neutral and buy play a big factor. And depending on how neutral the stock is, if it has 1 sell and 8 neutral and 2 buy, is gonna make it want to go closer to buy, but it's gonna stay neutral, but it's gonna start coming over here. This white little clock thing, it's gonna start, the meter thing is gonna start coming over here trying to make its way. You see it pivoting. If I don't move, you'll see it pivoting. If I can, y'all can even see it. There it is. The oscillator right here. Let me scroll down so I can actually see. I keep forgetting my camera, my face camera is right there. Okay, moving averages. Going down to moving averages from oscillator. Strong buy. It's a big, big buy ratio too, compared to the one right above it. It's 12 to 2 for real. 12 to it's 13 to 2 for real if you want to be real. That neutral finna be a buy. It's 13 to 2 buy sell ratio. So bulls are definitely in control right now. But I also brought up earlier that gold is currently not at its ceiling but meeting its ceiling. So it's gonna be overbought soon and is looking to make a decline in my opinion. So with that being said, a lot of the indicators are going to look neutral. The relative strength index, the stochastics, the commodities channel, the average directional index, the awesome oscillator. Momentum's a current buy because on the day it's green, it's bullish. MACD as well. Stochastics RSI, which is the fast real-time data as close as you can get, is currently sell. So on the day, that's why you see it down a little bit because the sentiment today is a little bearish, but overall for the company's valuation, it's bullish. But right now, you're gonna see a lot of neutral because I explained earlier, gold is in consolidation phase, looking to tap its ceiling, and then me personally come down to about like 38, 37, and but we might see it might break that floor. But yeah, currently for the overall scheme of the company, exponential moving average 10-day EMA is on buy. Simple moving average 10-day EMA is on buy. 20-day EMA buy. Simple moving average 20-day buy. 30 exponential day moving average. So the price action of the stock over a 30-day period is buy. Simple moving average buy. 50-day 50-day exponential is buy, but simple moving average 50-day is sell. Interesting. Exponential moving averages going across the 100 and 200 are all buy. Then that thing I can pronounce earlier, this little Japanese name baseline is at neutral. I don't even use that, so I don't care. Hub moving average is at sell, and volume weighted moving average is on buy. And now that we've hit the financials, price is currently at 451. MRNY is at $14.33, and WWR has moved from 91 cents to 92 cents. Right now, it's up 1% currently on the minute, and they're up 33% on the day. So like it's starting to work its way to that 460 I was talking about. But let me minimize this channel so we can get into the juicy stuff. Oh, actually, before I minimize, this is the rest of my watch list currently on TradingView, and I have a lot of these things synced with a little bit more stuff on Robinhood. Upload. Now you're live and recording. I
What's
went
up,
through
guys?
I went through WWR, I went through MRNY, and I went through B2GOLD already. You can start at gold. You can go down into gold, or you don't have to do this. You can just do this one, BTC, pump, H bar, and then as far as you can get until I get back, I'm gonna minimize.
What do you mean go through the analytics of a company, though?
So I'm gonna tap it and show you.
Okay.
You will talk to them about the current price, the change on the minute, the change on the day. So the change currently on the minute is what? Minus 32
Minus 29.
Yeah.
0.29 minus 0.30.
And on the change on the day is only minus
0.8, 0.7.
Okay. Percent, right? And then going down further past that, anytime you have an ad pop up, you can exit out. I've been struggling with getting the X, even on camera.
Big old mouse.
Yeah, so and then go this is the technicals right here. So from key stat all the way down.
Just verbatim it like that.
You want to talk to them about it the way you will break it down to a third grader, because a lot of people who's watching or will be watching in the future don't understand the stock market at all. So you want to break down the science as like as a teacher would, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then when I get back, I'm gonna go into the actual chart and like the meat of it. And then when you get home, we can go further into post market portfolio, like
Okay.
how the market changed for the day.
And if there's something that I don't understand, just know when I get back to y'all.
Yeah, if there's something that you don't understand, let them know that.
Yeah.
And if they have questions, I told them to put it in comment sections instead of putting it in live chat because I have to send a PC for repairs. So if they have questions, we can still answer them and incorporate them in a video. So if we don't know something, we learn as we're teaching. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll start key stat, the volume on the day, the volume on the month, and then the performance for the month, the quarter, year to date, 1 year, 3 year. It flatlined and it started to make its pivots. And then this is the part right here. We'll go into the actual
The greed
oscillators.
index
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
But your camera's right here, and this window's above your camera. So anytime that you're showing this window and going through the sell to buy ratio, whose sentiments in control right now? Buys, right? Bulls, right? And then you make sure that this is above your camera. Okay?
Okay.
All right, bet.
Cool.
So I'll leave this here, and I'll scroll back up to key stat. I already did these top three, so you pick up here, and you don't have to be perfect. Okay? I love you.
I love you too.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Mom, you're gonna be on the stream with me. Well, you're not like on the stream, but like you're gonna be talking to me. Yes. Yes. You're gonna talk to me. Yes. Okay. So gold's price right now is actually went down a little bit. $4,200. The change on the day is 2.5, 0.7%. Okay. Wow. Gold is actually one of my favorites only because it's so steady. So for the week, oh, you can still see. Okay. Yeah, of course it's gonna be green year to date, just because it's gold. Gold doesn't really lose much value. It's pretty consistent all the way around. I personally, if you're doing any like scalps or long positions or anything, especially if you have the capital, I would definitely stay within like commodities just because they're very prone to do what the market is supposed to do. Like if you see a higher high, like right here, hold on. Let's just go back this way. You see how it just constantly goes up and up and up and up, even though it has its lows. Like right here, that's one of its lows, and then it'll go up and then it'll drop, and then like it literally just follows trend, and it follows what's that other word? I can't remember, but it follows trend and how it's supposed to be. Oh, this is gold's. These are the technicals. Okay. I feel like it'll always be in buy. Like it'll always be like a strong buy because it's gold. Like come on. It's gold. They just do it better. Gold just does everything great. And if you can't afford gold, obviously there's like ETFs and stuff that you can buy. Like he just showed you B2GOLD. That's like what is that? I think it's like an ETF or something. Also, when you're looking at your technicals, make sure that you're changing your time frames because that helps also. Because see how the oscillator went from a strong buy to now it's the bears are in control. Granted, the moving averages and just the overall summary are still bullish. There's still a chance that you could be in a position where the market for gold is selling off or it's just dropping really fast, and they'll go back up, of course. Again, commodities are quite like regular. They keep you steady. Except for silver. So silver recently has been fluctuating a lot. It's kind of crazy. That kind of sucks. Anyway, keeping it pushing. Moving averages. Everything's just in a buy position. Everything's just bullish. Any neutrals, I have no clue what this is. Ichimoku baseline, no clue what that is. I'm assuming that has something to do with a little Fibonacci situation. The pivots are just pivot prices where like it's been up and down. Hello. Yeah. And of course, the be warned information is not for blah 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 blah. And they have to do that only because like they don't want you to just make plays based off of that kind of information that can fluctuate and just be unpredictable. Because as you should know, the market does not care. They don't care about your bills. They don't care about what you got to do next month. They don't care about how much money's in your account. All they care about is what you're putting into the market and what you're taking out of it. And that's your business. Definitely don't put in what you're willing to lose, because if you don't put in what you're willing to lose and you over leverage yourself and you over trade, you end up broke. Then you don't have your rent money, then you don't have your water bill money. But that's not the market's fault. It's your irresponsible, like you being irresponsible, you being immature. You have to know your limits. If you don't know your limits, I suggest you don't trade. I suggest that you keep working for massa and do what you want to do. Because, can I say that? My bad, Shade. Anyway, I suggest you keep working and invest in a way that doesn't allot much risk for you. Invest in ETFs, invest in, I wouldn't do stocks, like individual stocks or anything right now, just because the market is so volatile, especially with everything that's going on. I would definitely do ETFs, do things that pay you dividends, that have high dividend. Actually, high dividends aren't always the best. Sometimes that speaks to the company. But use your discernment. Use the information that's in front of you. Don't just, like how I say gold is a it's a market that's consistent, but it's consistent to a T, to the point that it's still going to go down. Just because gold almost never loses its value doesn't mean that you're not going to run into experiences where the market is just always green. For me, what I've noticed and what I've learned, even in gold, even in commodities, if it goes down, it will always come back up. In the market, period, if it drops, it'll always come back up. But you have to pay attention to how long you're going to be in drawdown, how long it's going to take for your drawdown to reject and come back up. You have to pay attention to stuff like that. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm going to get a check every Friday. I know that. But there is a time where it's like, yes, I'm going to get my check every Friday, but they could also mess with my hours. My manager could be a butt, and I'm going to get my check every Friday, but that week I only work 20 hours when I need 40 to make my bills. You get what I'm saying? So, just stuff like that. Okay. Moving on to our crypto. Yay! Volatility. Yay! We all love volatility. No, we don't. I hate volatility. It actually stresses me out. Which is why I need capital so I can trade with the big boys, because I do not like... Okay, crypto is cheaper. Bitcoin is down. Because remember, I think at the start of the year, we were at like 100 something K. Now we're at 92K. Bitcoin has gone down tremendously. And fun fact, if you didn't already know, I'm gonna get close when I say this. Bitcoin runs all the other cryptos. If something's wrong with Bitcoin, there's something wrong with HBAR, there's something wrong with Pump, there's something wrong with what's the other one? Something wrong with XRP. So if Bitcoin is down, all them other ones are down. So maybe you should pay attention to that. Anyway, yes. So Bitcoin, still a good investment, I think, because they are just going on with what's going on in world news. They are, okay. The performance would say otherwise, but on the week we're green, very bullish on the week, up 2%. And I know that doesn't seem like a lot, especially if you've never traded before, you've never looked at a market before, you've never seen a stock a day in your life. I understand that a month ago, 13% being down, 16% being down on the quarter, 6 months, 11% being down. Year to date, we're only down 1%. However, and just on this year alone, we're down 3%, but on the week, we're up 2%. So I understand those are small numbers, and you know, in your mind, that's a small number, like 2%, 1%, like what the heck. But in the market, 1 cent can change the trajectory of everything you got going on. If the market goes up $1, you've made 20. And it really just, hi Mio. That's our cat. Hi Kitty. Um, it's a matter of dang, I get it. It's just a matter of you paying attention and realizing what you want. What I like about the market is it's almost like a different level of entrepreneurship. Like when you're an entrepreneur, you do what you want, but you still have to follow very specific laws, very specific licenses. You still have a boss. You get what I'm saying, to a degree. And that's what everything, like, because you have to follow government regulations and stuff like that. So even with trading, your boss is your platform. If you be for real, because if you overtrade and blow your account, you can do another account, but depending on what platform you're on trading, they might not be so kind to that, and you end up paying the market. You never want to give the market your money. You don't want to freaking do that. Don't give the market your money. You want to take money from the market. And doing that is just you knowing what you're doing. Like, and of course, you're not gonna win 100% of the time. If you're winning 100% of the time, because that's crazy. But you definitely win more often than you lose. In my opinion, I feel like if you're following your rules, if you're setting boundaries for yourself, if you're setting goals and stuff like that, be realistic and don't put too much pressure on yourself to do stuff that you know that you can do. Again, know your limits. Anyway, let's get back. I'm yapping. Okay. Bitcoin USDT down 123, down 1%. Market fluctuated up 2%. Genuinely, I'm be honest, I don't know what these seasonals mean. I'm assuming, let me see. Let's do more seasonals. Him and this big old mouse. Okay. I need to show you what this mouse looks like. Look how big that freaking mouse is. Like, why do you need it that big? Man. Okay. Okay, let's read. Reading is fundamental. I think everyone should read when they do things. Our seasonal tools allow you to analyze the index movements across the course of previous years. Oh, this helps you better gauge if there are repeating trends occurring on an annual basis. Oh, okay. So you see how all of these little lines are overlapping? Like right here. Bam. That price happened. Oh, dang. Hold on. Okay, well, in 2024 and 2025, it's down. 2023, 76%, 2024, 25, 31, 21. So, yeah, I still don't understand. But it's okay. We'll get there, buddy. On our technicals for Bitcoin. Oh, backtrack. I still believe that that is a good investment solely because it's Bitcoin. Other countries are making Bitcoin cities, Bitcoin nations. It's becoming their currency, I should say. And because of that, I feel that this is like having, like how the dollar is losing its value, but back in the day, somebody be like, make sure you keep cash on you. But now we're digital. So it's like, or I take that back. You know how old pennies, you can trade them in for money? I think that's what Bitcoin's going to be. Bitcoin's going to be that thing like, oh, keep that in your back pocket because you can use it somewhere else. And that's just me thinking. Bitcoin is is in a strong bearish position right now. That does not, just because something is bearish, that does not change your investment. It just changes your position. Thank you. You'll either go into a sell or you'll be in a buy. You're either bearish or bullish, and right now it's telling you to be bearish. And if that's the case, sell bearish. I will say that if you're let me get ready. I will say that if you're, see how you go to the 5 minute and it's neutral and it's in a stronger sell due to your moving averages. I will say that if you are gonna be a bear, Rar, you should definitely keep up with your, why I hate this thing. Definitely keep up with your watch what you're doing is what I'm trying to say. Watch what the heck you're doing. Don't sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm bearish and everything is doing what it's supposed to do." Oh, right now I'm just going through the time frames to see what to do. Um yeah. But don't sit there and be like, "Oh, it's bearish. I can do it. I'm going into for a sell." Pay attention to if it's going to reject, because what happens is we go into bear positions. Oh, the market's going down and shooting down. Oh, that's my take profit. Let me move my take profit to see. Da, da, da. You moving your take profit because you think you're going to make more profit, but you're not paying attention to your stop loss. So your stop loss is, you got way too much room between your take profit, where you bought at. I guess that would be like your strike price, where you bought at, and your stop loss. Your stop loss is so very, 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 very important, and it's important to trail it. If you're not trailing your stop loss, you will lose more money because you are not paying attention. Yes, one of the perks of being in the market is, oh, I can get into the market and I can just, walk off, especially if you're in long puts calls. If you're in long positions that you're gonna wait for, that is a beautiful plus. It's a beautiful addition, a beautiful benefit. However, if you're not looking at your play every now and again, at least, you will lose large amounts of money, especially if you don't have a stop loss at all. Risk management. Risk management. If you do not practice risk management, you will be broke. You will be below the poverty line. So I suggest we practice risk management and we take it seriously, because risk management is very important. That is how you take all the money off the table and don't leave any there for the market to eat up and take from you. Okay. Um, yeah, that's, I have to go get ready because I work a 9 to 5 until further notice. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. I stopped at Bitcoin. If y'all have any questions, please do not hesitate to leave them in the comment section of anything that we post, anything that we put out, clips, videos, anything. Leave them there. And yeah, God bless y'all. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.
Yo, come say hi to stream. Say hi, Mia. You good, kitty? Okay. So I think Bay said that she ended the YouTube video, but I had plans to make this YouTube video. Um, yes. Do you need something? What you want? What you want, Mia? I had plans to make this YouTube video about like an hour and change long, and I also haven't streamed in a while. Do you need to get sponsored by peakpie.com? Remove the space. What is Peak Pie? And then somebody else mentioned a streamboo.com earlier. What is that? You gotta break that down. LaFat TV. But anyway, I haven't streamed in a while, so I'm trying to get some longer streams in and get back into repetition so I have the snowball effect going. So I think basically she left off at Bitcoin. We're gonna go back to gold when I break down my Robinhood. Now with my Robinhood, I have a specific small challenge I was doing. Well, I'm gonna do going forward that I mentioned earlier with the $100 to 10K challenge. That's my small account challenge. I'm gonna do that in Robinhood. I've been trading on paper, trading on um Trading View on this app right here. I've been trading. Let me move myself out the way real quick. And I'm recording it live. But all right, so I've been trading on paper trading. You see how it says it right here on Trading View, and I worked my account up. I'm in the positive. I'm green on my account. I'm negative on available funds, but that's because of the play I'm in currently. if it'll let me show it. I think I have to close this window. There you go. So up 10 bands on B2GOLD. I'm going to get more into the charts to show y'all how I'm up 2 bands and what I did to get up 2 bands. I use supply and demand. Supply and demand trend line trading is my personal trading strategy. That's why I want to go and make this video a little bit longer, because I need to break down my trading strategy. So going forward, I can further explain it for anybody who has questions, because I know going forward, a lot of people don't know about the stock market and don't know about investing, but especially don't know about trading. So I want to teach as much people as possible and make a community of people who are like-minded, if that makes sense. So with that being said, yeah, and I don't know why Bae was hating on my mouse. Like, my mouse hard. I don't know what she got going on. But yeah, she gotta go. She had to go to work. I'm up 10 million on this trade. The trade value is worth 300,000 because I'm using leverage. My take profit is $7.49, and my stop loss is $2.20. The price currently is $4.40, and I told you guys I'm predicting today, in my personal opinion, with my personal technical analysis of my trading strategy, I don't think it's gonna go above 460 today, and much less in the future, for the past, for the not past, for the coming week. And I have 69,665 units or shares or units inside of my contract on TradingView with this B2GOLD play that I'm in right now. I hope I broke that down to the best of my ability. And this is free to use. Anybody can practice. Anybody can get in TradingView. Not looking for a sponsorship. You know what I'm saying? Kick, Twitch, YouTube, TradingView, Robinhood. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Not looking for no sponsorship. I'm just saying. I can put myself back in frame now, because I just want y'all to be able to see the numbers so I can go through them. But yeah, I'm not looking for no sponsorship. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for no sponsorship. I'm not. I promise. I promise. I'm here. Anyway, but yeah, it's free to use. You can practice. You get your reps in. I personally started trading around the time that I stopped uploading on YouTube last time. I went into a heavy study, like scholar phase. I locked in. I zoned out all distractions, like zoned out all distractions, bro, and got fully locked in. And what ended up happening was, it took me about a year, a year and 4 months, a year and 4 months to feel comfortable to start trading live money. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. All this is fake money. What I'm gonna go through for the next 40-ish minutes, this is all simulation. Just letting y'all know that. So it looks real, but it's simulation. Going forward, I'm gonna start building a real account. I'm gonna start putting all what I've been doing in practice and studying and monitoring and speculating and watching live markets and watching people and soaking up mentors' games and hearing different people speak about the market and their personal testimonies in the market and their journey from start to where they are currently and where they plan to go. It puts everything in perspective for me. So with that being said, I'm gonna go into my history, and then after I go into my history, um I'm gonna go to the live chart. No, I'm gonna go to the watch list, finish the watch list, go to the live chart, end off on the live chart. And in the next video, I'm gonna be in my live trading account on Robinhood, giving real time like updates on everything. And it's gonna be off my PC for a second because my PC has to go in for repairs at NZXT. So that's gonna take, I don't know how much it's gonna take. Hopefully, I don't have to have it take long because it's under warranty. But if the warranty's expired, then I'm fucked. So, pardon my language, but yeah, it's bad. So I might have to get a new one. Anyway, I'll be recording off the iPhone. I'm gonna make it work. Feel me? Gotta grind. So, right now we're gonna go through balance history. Is it my order history or my balance history? Oh no, that's just how I put them in. So that's what it look like when I put them in. My balance history is exact amounts, dates, um, dates and times right here, amounts before, amounts after the trade, amounts lost or made in the trade, and the position I'm in, which short is sell, long is buy. So bullish, bearish, call, put, what's the other word? Positive, negative, up, down, nigga. Like, for me, sorry, part of my language. I'm trying so hard not to cuss. Like, I'm really trying to, like, you feel me? But it'd be hard. And then the symbol or ticket symbol, how I mentioned earlier, the exchange is on. the actual company or crypto or commodity or index or futures or whatever, forex, whatever the case may be, like USCN, Canadian to pound or pound to US dollar, and then you have crypto with the bitcoins and the pumps and the XRPs and the H bar and the Doges and the Shiba Inus, and then you have stocks with the Nvidias and the Teslas and the Metas and the S&Ps and the Nasdaqs, and then you have commodities with like palladium, silver, gold, uh, uranium, copper, oil, stuff like that. And then what's the other ones? But I'm personally like a stock, commodities, little bit of crypto type of dude. You'll see a lot of crypto in here because I was experimenting while practicing, but I was mainly on XRP and gold. But you'll see a lot of like some other stuff in here. I'm gonna take it from my last trade in this account. My current one is the B2GOLD. My last trade in this account before B2GOLD, and then all the way to the beginning. I'm gonna have to speed up at some point so I can get to live markets in a good time frame. But anyway, so I'm gonna start with the pump is self-explanatory, but matter of fact, I'll skim through it and then go into the actual meat of it when I'm in the chart. That'll make more sense. So my last play on the 16th, 16th, the 15th, 16th, and 17th was when I started my B2GOLD play. My pump plays were sell-offs. So it was heavy sell-offs, it was government shutdowns, it was a period of like market fear, like heavy market fear, like extreme fear on a fear and greed index, and everything was getting wicked off. Crypto specifically was super volatile. That's why I want to go on a less volatile market and solidify my strategy so that way I can be able to compound properly. I don't want to keep making huge amounts and then losing huge amounts because then I won't be able to be profitable for long enough than 2 minutes. I want to be able to be profitable, so I have to keep my losses small and my wins big. That's the profitability strategy. You want 1 to 2 risk to reward. You want to practice very strict risk management. And I want to be able to teach people that because people think that gambling and trading are the same, or people think that like trading is the same as poker or casino stuff, and it's not. It's a systematic, algorithmic, breath like it's like a breathing living thing almost because the market in and of itself fluctuates from so many different catalysts. It could be news, it could be economics, it could be geopolitics, it could be actual price action and order book with the selling buys going at the certain times, but emotions, fear of missing out, panic selling and panic buying, like all these different catalysts move the market and fluctuate how much buy orders go in at a time and how much sell orders go in at a time, how much demand is there and how much selling or supply is there. Like if the supply is super high or if the demand is super high at certain points in time, the market will react differently to market to market. So with that being said, I'm gonna just skim through this and then get into the meat so I can actually break down the candlesticks. Because trying to break it out down in here in the balance history, it will make sense but not fully. So yeah, I'll skim through it. So trade on the 15th, trade on the 14th was for 37 bands. Trade on the 14th again was for 16. That was on gold. The 37 bands was on pump. But for the most part, man, I've been green. I just lose here and there. And when I lose big, but I always come back and make it back. Like 81, 79K, then I lose. But see, this was up till, so everything I'm going from present day back. So you gotta think about it from back to present day. I lost 33K. I lost 9K. I lost 19K. All paper trading, by the way. I lost $900. I lost $1,000. But I made 79. I made 81. I made 141. I made 25. Then I lose a little bit. That's why I want to get away from volatile markets. Cause look, I'm on XRP. Look, I'm on XRP. Look, I'm on pump. Look, I'm on pump. When I start back making money, look, where am I at? GDX of Van Eyck Gold Miner ETF. Where am I at? Gold, the actual gold index. Where am I at? Pump. So I am making money on crypto, but to make solid, passive, regular, because I'm trying to move away from day trade. I'm trying to get into more swings, which I'll break down later. I want to swing and leap trade. So with that being said, if I'm getting away from day trading, I want to be around something that's less volatile. So that way, if I'm getting away from day trading, I'm swing trading. I don't have to worry about getting wicked out of my position and my stop loss getting hit when I'm not watching the market. I'm doing something else. I want to be able to swing comfortably, knowing that the market's gonna fluctuate, do what it do, being in the bullish or bearish, up or down, but I'm still good and my position still active until I hit my take profit. I want to be able to anticipate full market structure, if that makes sense. And I'm gonna break all this down later. But going farther into it, just scrolling back, like you'll see, I'm more bullish than bearish. And when I do lose, I try to keep it minimal, but sometimes in my trades, though, depending on the position size, like depending on how much capital I'm playing with, it'll look differently when I take a negative loss. But yeah, 220, 43, minus 98, minus 660, but made 7, made 10, made 263, minus 5, minus 6, minus $1, made 8 bands, made 380, made 1100, made 800, made 1100, made 350, made 3 bands, made 400. Losing, I broke even. See, practicing risk management, XRP, because you know XRP volatile. So you got to do what you got to do. You feel me? But yeah, just skimming through it. Made 5 band, not 5 bands, made $560, made 8 bands, made 6 bands, made 4 bands, made 1 band, then lost 700, or lost 700, and then did all of this because we're going present day back. So yeah, but yeah, man, I want to keep being consistent. I want to work my capital in my real time live account, getting off of paper trading and going to real markets. Hold on. Log on to paper trading, going into real markets, getting on a brokerage and on an exchange, and actually getting into the nitty gritty of real time. Like, simulated money is one thing, bro. Simulated money is one thing, and I personally feel like it's great to get your practice in. But when it comes to sinking your teeth into the real thing, that's a different beast. And I feel like if I keep spending time practicing, and putting my skill into practice, I never really get the real thing in. And the real thing is what's going to change my life. So I have to at some point make the switch. And I feel like now, like, the best time to do it is the present. And with my account being in the green, I wanted to take my account from the 100K to the account. The 100K the account starts with, that TradingView gives you, to 300K of my own personal practice, of my own skill, my trading strategy, and that's what I did. After this play, which I'm gonna show you the live markets, like with candlesticks and price actions and indicators. I'm gonna show you after this play is finished on B2GOLD, I'm gonna be way above 300K. So I know it's possible. That's why I said it's not gonna be fast, it's not gonna be easy, but it's gonna be worth it. But yeah, you can get your crypto exchanges, you can get stock exchanges, commodity exchanges, forex exchanges. Like TradingView integrates with it all, and there's always a market and a platform for anybody. So don't ever feel like you have to be on one and not the other, or you have to be accustomed to this and there's nothing else out there for you. There's always a way. There's always a way. Find a way. Feel me? But yeah, connecting back to paper trading, so I can show you my live position on B2GOLD in here, and then in the next video, fully explain what my approach is going to be in my live market, live real-time data account. Let me minimize this channel and open this back to touch back on what Bay was talking about earlier, while she was hating on my mouse. You feel me? So before I get back into what I was talking about, I want to stress and emphasize something. Do not get into these markets before you study. After I get into what Babe was talking about and I get into these live markets and I break down my trading strategy, don't go thinking what I show you. The moment I show you it, seeing it one time, you can just go do it, mimic it, make money, and then blame me because it didn't work. That's not how this works. Get your 10,000 hours in. Doctors have to do it. Surgeons have to do it. Firefighters have to do it. Police officers have to do it. Army medics, Army, Navy, Air Force, National Guard, politicians, athletes, teachers, everybody who is a professional and a master and a creative in their space to the fullest extent that they push themselves to, had to get their 10,000 hours in. and anybody who became legendary and take that next step to become the greatest they could possibly be the LeBron and be the Stephen Curry and be the Tom Brady and be the Tom Cruise and be the John Wicks and the Denzel Washingtons and the, you feel me? To get to these places of the heights of your career, you have to get your 10,000 hours in. So do not be impulsive. Do not be impatient. Do not be arrogant. Master your emotions first. You have to get your psychology right before you even hit these markets for real, because they're gonna hit your ass back, and the market do not care. The market does not care about your bills, your goals, your aspirations, your feelings, what you got planned, what you've been through. It don't care. So come correct or don't come at all. And that's my personal advice, because I care about everybody who watches this. I care about my personal family. I care about my friends, and I want to make sure I'm not giving bad advice. You feel me? So with that, and I'm live. So y'all hearing that, and then YouTube gonna hear that. So do not, after I break this down, think that you know what you're doing and can just hop in here and just make money. That's not how that works. You feel me? But yeah. Okay, so back to B2GOLD. Oh no, I took it off of auto. I gotta pick up the speed of this. I gotta pick up the speed of this mouse. I'm gonna do that later after I finish recording. I'm in like the editing phase of today. So scrolling down, starting back from what she was English. Y'all gonna hear me switch from patois to English a lot, because I speak in both, and sometimes like I start to like mix them, and sometimes like I don't know, I don't know how to explain it, but you'll see it happening, and you'll see me correcting myself. Just bear with me. So key stats. Bay was talking about it being bearish on the day and bullish overall, just like gold, which is a fact. It was at 120, or the highs of 120, almost 130 earlier this year, and it's been a great year for Bitcoin this year. But it's bullish now. In the intraday, the daily, and I think the weekly, it's bullish now. We can actually go. We can close this because we already it's already served its purpose. And zoom out. We will do that and go from 1 minute up to the monthly, so I can explain further what I'm talking about. So, and we'll break it down side by side. And if I need to put myself, I think the part of the screen I'm on is the best for you to see everything, see me, and then get what I'm talking about without me being in the way. So I think where I'm at is best. Okay, so um we're gonna go through here, and then we're gonna go through here. Volume on the day is only 15K. Gold is used to millions or hundreds of thousands of volume coming in at a time. So is Bitcoin. So with them being so stagnant in consolidation right now, and the overall selling off a little bit bearish, but overall grand scheme bullish, you'll start to see the volume coming in dry up, and that does not mean that it's selling off and it's crashing, and gold's gonna be at 1100 or Bitcoin's gonna be at 50, 60K like how people are predicting, because they get so emotional about what they're looking at. You have to go by fundamentals and technical analysis all the time, all the time, all the time. I'm gonna break down everything as in depth as possible, because I do not want anybody. I don't want anybody to be arrogant or quick to the punch. You have to be fine teeth comb, I think is the word for it, with this type of stuff. So on a 30 day, which again is used to hundreds of thousands, almost millions of volume, or millions of volume coming in at a time. Both of these indexes right here. So with that being said, 26K is not a lot. So yes, Bitcoin is bearish, but the next time institutions, hedge funds, Wall Street, your local YouTube, I mean not local YouTuber, international YouTuber, influencer, streamer, or big name big name politician decides they're gonna enter the market and push some money into all these indexes, the market's gonna go back green. And then the average day-to-day small trader who doesn't really work with the millions and billions of capital at a time, they're gonna fall behind, and it's gonna pump the price even more. So don't think about it from a fear mindset. You want to look at everything from an overall perspective and then start pulling back the layers. So with that being said, it's in stagnation and consolidation right now. In my personal opinion, it's not selling off and about to crash. For the week, it's at 2%. For the month, it's at 13%. For the quarter, it's at 16%. These two are negative. This one's the only positive on the week. So it's starting to try to make its way back up and climb. As you see, this is supply and demand. I also, for my own supply and demand, using my, where are you? 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 I, for my own supply and demand, what's a good place to put you? Using these, and I change them from red if it's supply, or green or blue if it's demand, right? But I also have set automatically and save to my chart settings automatic supply and demand computer algorithm. Then I don't think this person, when they was creating it through TradingView, when they made it on here, used AI to make it. I could be wrong, but it's an algo graph. And I'll get into to dynamic supply and demand algo graph and break down this indicator a lot more later on, the further I get into getting to the charts. And this is SARS right here. I'm gonna have to move myself out the frame again. Down here where my mouse is, hopefully it shows up. I don't think my mouse shows up properly with the cursor, but you'll see like this, or I'm highlighting over something, you'll see a highlight, which is, it works either way. So this is SARS MACD. SARS in and of itself is another real-time data, whether it's 5-day, 10-day, 20-day, 200-day, or 300-day time frame collective of those days, weighted average of price action. So over that time frame, whether it was the price action over 10 days, price action over 20 days, price action over like how it is up here. So 1 minute price action over the 5 minute, price action over the 15 minute, which we're gonna go through all of this, price action over the 30 minute, and so on up until with the indicators they use like days though. You feel me? They use days. You can also go to a time frame of a week, or you can go to a time frame past days and weeks and go into, let's just say you want to go quarter, zoom it in, and it gives you Bitcoin's active price over the quarter. So that you can look at it from again from the overall perspective and peel back the layers, which is always best to do. You want to take it from small time frame into to minor time frame, and pick a time frame that works for you, that your trading strategy works best on. Mine is the 1 hour, and I view other time frames to get different technical analysis and speculation. But I use the 1 hour to place, set, and edit my stop loss, take profit in my position, if that makes sense. So with the SARS, it mixes the MACD, which is another volume weighted index, with SARS, which is the dots that you see up here. Let me see if I can actually maximize this window so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. There we are. There we are. Okay. So the MACD is this. And when it's, since it's over here, I can move myself back. So the MACD is this. And when it's bullish, you see green. When it's indecision or consolidation in the market, or a struggle, like a even struggle of equal buy and sell orders going in at the same time, it'll be yellow. But going back further, you start to see the colors change. Red is when it's bearish, and that goes for the bubbles, them circles, which is the SARS, and the MACD, which is them big volume indications right there. And the further back you go, I'm gonna minimize it now so you can see what active candlesticks. And this is on a 1 minute. I trade on a 1 hour. I'm just going peeling back the layers, going time frame to time frame. I think this is about an even level for you to see candlesticks and the indicator. I have it on auto, and I have it on auto bet. And then I will take the names off because now that I broke it down and you see what you're looking at. And then zoom out. Let me go forward again. So this is right now. Price is at 92K, 92,240. You see how I just changed? And 13 cents. And it has 26 cents on this candle of a 1 minute candle. So the further I go into explanation, is the more it makes sense of how a 1 minute candle changes from a 5 minute candle and differs from a 15 minute candle, different from a 30 minute candle, because it's all different and it takes 15 minutes from that candle to form, or 5 minutes for that candle to form, or 1 minute for that candle to form. So all those orders going in and out, and the bulls and bears fighting for position and either going up or down, it fluctuates and makes the candle look different time from the time frame. That's why every time frame looks different the way it does. So we're on the 1 minute, but actually, for reference of how my trading strategy fully works and to see actually my active position, I'll go to the 1 hour. Come up off Bitcoin for a second and show you B2GOLD. I'm gonna minimize this window and I'll come back to Bitcoin. I'll come back to Bitcoin in a second. So I'm not gonna close the window. I'm gonna minimize the window like that. Okay, cool. So let's get closer. Let's zoom this out. All right, bro. So going back, you'll start to see the colors change. And actually, I'm going to take this off real quick so I can break down to you something. The SARS MACD also changes the colors of this actual indicator at the bottom and the color of the candlesticks at the top. So when you traditionally study candlesticks and watch other people use their candlesticks look red or green, right? My candlesticks will look a different color. It'll have the yellow mixed in with the red or green, and the indications will look differently because of my trading strategy and the indicators I'm currently using. I can always turn it off and be good without it, but currently the SARS MACD is working for me. I'm incorporating it and I'm keeping it for as long as it continues to work for me. So I keep it on, and I already know what traditional candlesticks look like. I've studied and got past the point of needing to see that to know what type of candle it is. Like I could see this. I went down a little bit. I could see this candle and know it's bearish. I could see this candle and know it's bullish. I could see these two candles and the way it's going up and how it wicked off and where it opened and closed at and know it's bullish. I can see open and close and got to the point where I've studied long enough to know which candle is which without even having to see the color. It could be in black and white and I can still know what I'm looking at. And I love that. I love that because I don't need to worry about entering incorrectly and being wrong about sentiment, market sentiment, whether bullish sentiment or bearish sentiment. So with that being said, I'm gonna break down. We already did the SARS. I'm gonna break down the algo dynamic supply and demand graph, right? So first, I'm going to go into the settings of it. I'm gonna go to the explanation of how it works. I'm gonna go into the candlesticks of B2GOLD, explain this play. Then I'm gonna end it out. I'm gonna end this video off on going back to Bitcoin and explaining Bitcoin's real life application because I remember Bay was speaking on that earlier but didn't fully explain because she had to go. So I wanna hit all points of where we're trying to get to today. So with that being said, we're gonna go to settings of Algo Alpha. If my freaking mouse would do what I wanted to. All right. So look back for dynamite. Dynamic look back. For non-dynamic look back, it's set at 200. That means it goes over a 200-day period, right, of candlesticks to get its supply and demand. Going further down, the pivot point detection period is the swing high and swing low. So lower highs and lower lows, and higher highs and higher lows. So higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And you'll see the market breathing these algorithms and these type of mannerisms. With that being said, it goes over 100 of them, 100 of those pivot point detections. Now, resolution is just the HD of how the indicator looks. And some of these are irrelevant, but you see the bullish color. Bullish color is the demand. That demand color is what I have set here as like this kind of lightish green. And then the deep red, the bearish, the supply is what I have as this red color. And then the level when it's inconsistency or they're fighting in between a specific demand or supply line or block or area or zone on the computer indicator on TradingView. When it's fighting in that area, it'll be gray and show up gray until bulls take over and win, or sellers take over and win, and depending on how much orders are going through at a time, you start to see the market fluctuate and the candle grows in a certain direction. Now, my style is my pivot highs. I put a wave emoji. So the pivot high, what's gonna happen after it makes a high? Everything that goes up must come down. Everything at its bottom can only go up. With that being said, it applies the same type of science and mind frame to the market. So my pivot high, I want to think about a huge wave like tsunami, right? And then it has to come down and crash on something. You feel me? So that's why I think about my pivot high and I use that emoji and I put it above the bar. Because if it was below the bar, the wave being below the bar wouldn't make sense. But if it's above the bar and it's the bulls opened here, came up, closed here, I have the emoji here, and the next candle is bearish and it starts to split down, that emoji, having that wave emoji going down, it perfectly signifies what's going on. And I feel like the flame does the same thing for when it's at its bottom. Anything that's at its bottom can only go up. When you light a candle and you spark it, a lot of times when you first spark that candle, the initial flame shoots up. You feel me? Or like you have an airsoft cannon, you hit it with a lighter. It's gonna go from being regular flame from the lighter to when you put the airsoft on it, it shoots the flame forward crazy and it goes up. You feel me? I'll put it below the bar because again, if it was a sell off crazy and bears, I was gonna say bulls. Bears had it here. They opened here, came down and closed here. Or came down and bulls stepped in and it wicked off down here, but closed here and had opened here. The next candle being bullish and opens here and goes up, I want that flame to be there because I know that what it signifies. So I feel like I hope I broke that down properly. I hope I broke that down to the best of my ability. And then when I show it to you in actual charts, it'll make sense. Now I'm gonna go into candlesticks in a later video and fully break down. I'm not no expert. For me, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm not even 2 years into this game. This is live documentation and journaling, and for me to look back and see how far I came later on for motivational purposes, but also take me to a different place of challenging myself, if that makes sense. So with me challenging myself, as I'm explaining to as I'm explaining to y'all, if I don't know something, I'm gonna look it up on my PC or on my phone while I'm recording on the iPhone, and I'm gonna answer it while I'm learning and teaching y'all. You feel me? Like each one teach one. So I'm not gonna go over full candlesticks and what we're seeing right now, but you'll go over full market structure right now, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna zoom out. I'm gonna go into the intraday moment to moment candles, especially because we're not on the 5 minute, 1 minute, or 15 minute. We're on the hourly time frame, so they're kind of self-explanatory. How I just broke down candlesticks inside of the settings of the indicator. When I get on here, it like for me, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'll take a second to do it though. Opening up here, bulls pushed it up here, seller stepped in, pushed it down. That's why you see that little wick, and they closed here. That's why you see that demand solidify here, and it was a period of consolidation in this area. After bulls have pushed it up here, sellers stepped in. That's why you see the supply form and it pushed down. It was pushing down. Sellers were in control after this little consolidation area here. They pushed down, but bulls stepped back in. What they do? Form supply. And that form supply, bulls stepped in, broke it, made it demand, is now pushing up to come do the same things here and have the same battle here. And the farther back you go, you see prices already been in this area before, and there's fair value gaps and big liquidity in certain areas because B2GOLD mimics actual gold live price. So with that being said, it'll fluctuate the same way gold does, or try its best to, depending on investor sentiment. So with that being said, those fair value gaps are either gonna get filled up by the bears or filled up by the bulls. But somebody gonna fill them fair value gaps, and somebody gonna have to take price to 460 and 470 or 420 and 410 and $3. And it just depends. You feel me? And any catalyst can take it there. That's why I tell y'all to make sure y'all do your research and make sure y'all study, make sure y'all apply what you're looking at and being shown and digesting on the media. Don't just go based off word of mouth. Put it in y'all 10,000 hours. I'm at 37 minutes. It feels good to be streaming back on Twitch, man. I ain't gonna lie. I've just been so busy. Alright, so put that back on auto. I got my SARS MACD back on, so you see the candlesticks change again, and you'll start to see the yellow be incorporated again for indecision and consolidation. And you see the specific areas it pops up in is areas when price is not going crazy up or going crazy down. You start to see price stagnate and stay in one area and fight in one area and stay in a certain time frame. I mean certain price level. So $3.72 and fluctuated between $3.72 to $4.21 from November 6th to the Monday to the November 24th. That was all consolidation. Just started to make its move up. After it made its move up, what is it doing again? Consolidating. I'm in the green now, but I was in drawdown in this play. That's what's practicing risk management because my stop loss wasn't hit. Because I'm not in something that's so volatile that it'll go spiking down to 20% or being a crazy 30% sell off. Like that's just not happening in my personal technical analysis. I don't see that happening for gold. But going back to full market structure after breaking down the candlesticks, so I can give y'all a basic instruction to them, so I can break down like to make it a full video just about candlesticks and fully go start to finish with that of what I know. For me, I can only explain what I know until I learn more. But full market structure, and you'll see the green, the yellow, the green, and then red, and the MACD and SARS down here. But this is not about that. So we going I just want to turn the color back on, but we gonna minimize that. This is about. Oh, let me scoot up. This is about market structure. So right now it's in consolidation. I'm gonna use blocks. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna use info lines to explain that better. So let's move. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, cool. So this is the base of the algo graph. This is the top of the algo graph. You see my indicator for my supply and demand dynamic dynamic supply and demand algo graph, and you'll start to see as time passes and a new one starts to form down here, a flame comes about either here pivot low or here pivot low. So pivot high, pivot low, pivot high, pivot low, pivot high, pivot low, pivot high. I want to mark it so I can fully okay, so that's huge. That is not what I asked for. Make it easy to delete because if I put marker, it'll be hard to delete, and I want to get y'all to see it big. So I'm using the Trinity flag. That's hilarious. I don't want to close my position though. Hold on now. I need that to hit that take profit. I'm gonna show y'all later what that take. Matter of fact, show y'all now what that take profit is. So yeah, when I hit this take profit and get back up to all-time highs, when we fully go into market structure, all the way back. Hold on. Going all the way back. Going all the way back to July of 2021, the current valuation at that time was $7.51. So that's why I said that take profit at all-time highs for B2GOLD, because when gold makes real gold and its counterparts, the XAUs and the GDXs down here, the GDX is down here. Oh, appreciate it, man. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Oh yeah. Sorry, that caught me by surprise. So the GDX is down here. I keep closing and opening windows, and I need all of them. I need all of them. I just need to scroll down. Okay, so gold, when they gold and its counterparts move, B2 gold will move as well and hit all time highs as well. So with that being said, you have B2 gold, which is at $4.57. Gold, which is on Spider, it's Spider Gold Shares or Gold Corp. They also have an index that monitors and mimics gold as well. Real gold, right? Some people call Bitcoin digital gold. We're gonna touch back on that later today. Um, you have gold on the crypto exchange Bybit, which uses USDT instead of US dollar because crypto uses USD tether. Then you have Centura Gold Incorporated, which mimics gold and is a gold miner, and it's precious. I said precious metals mining company. Same with Equinox Gold Corp, and it just goes on, man. Like Hub A Materials, SoFi isn't that. USA Rare Earths, I don't think they specialize in gold, but I think they might mine a little bit of it. Barrick Mining Corporation, I know they're gold. Same with Pan Silver. No, this is silver. GDX, like I spoke about first, the Vanilla Gold Miners ETF. That's an ETF. This is another gold trust that mimics gold in price. They all have their own price valuation that investor sentiment and initial public offering IPO makes it 79 or makes it $4 for B2 Gold or 300 and change for Spider GLD or Barrick being $41. Like IPO and initial investor sentiment and president investor sentiment changes how that. My headphones aren't working right now. Can you chat instead? By the way, which game do you stream the most? Um, Nia, I stream. I used to stream a lot of Fortnite, but if I was to stream games now, what would I play? I would mainly want to trade and do IRL content and do a little bit of like. I want to do some Bible study too, but do like more of like content with my viewers and stuff like that, if that makes sense, and incorporate people and give people platforms. And I also want to collaborate too. So with that being said, I would play games. I'll primarily be in finance and economics. But if I was to play, I'd probably play a little bit of Fortnite, truthfully. Some Ark, some Battlefield, some Call of Duty, some UFC, some FIFA, some yeah, the list goes on. I have a PS5 with my little brother, and I have a game cloud like a portable Logitech little Xbox game cloud, like it mirrors a Nintendo. So I have Xbox Live Game Pass on there, and I could play like Fortnite for free. But I could play Legos on there. I could play any game for real. Assassin's Creed. I could play God of War on there. I could play all different types of games on there. But I don't really game as much as I used to. I mainly be focused on trying to expand into this field because I want this to be my career. So with that being said, well it already is my career. I just gotta get longevity and experience, more experience. So Newmont is another example. Newmont Energy, non-energy minerals, precious metals is a mining company, and then there's all it all does that. Like they all mine gold, mirror gold, and based on gold fluctuation and sentiment, they're influenced. So I said I had to say, coming back here, full screening that, coming from the 1 hour back to, I mean the 4 hour back to the 1 hour, and coming to present candlesticks and zooming in and fixing the flag. Actually, flag stuff won't take too long. I would rather just use, what can I use that's more convenient? Bro, I'm just gonna use the info lines. I ain't stressing it. So from here to here is consolidation. And that was a 6 day period, right? Now from here to here. Let me zoom in more so you can see. That's why it's yellow like that too. I told y'all the yellow represent consolidation and indecision in the market. From here to here is pivot low to pivot high before enter this period of consolidation. From I'm gonna explain to y'all why I believe that gold is gonna go through the roof, touch all-time highs, and then start to come back down past the 4,000 range into somewhere around the 3,000 range before it possibly goes higher. You feel me? But I personally feel like it's not gonna go to 5,000 right now. It's gonna be later 2026. Gold is going to be valued around like 4,500, 4,600 will be the all-time highs that it makes. I don't see it going past that. Maybe a little bit, depending on like what BRICS might be having going on, or gold sentiment throughout the world. And gold is a safe haven for investors when they're in a panic and trying to get away from high volatility or low valuations with the U.S. dollar and stuff like that. So they'll find safe haven and stuff like gold and silver and different commodities. With that being said, that could take gold's price higher, and it's just a day-to-day investor sentiment type of thing, and then valuation and speculation would change. But right now, I don't see it going past that 46 max 4,600. So with that being said, I don't see B2GOLD hitting highs of $10 or $8 or $9.50 or going past into like the 11s and $12. I don't see that happening. I see it fluctuating right now in this consolidation phase 460, 465, 470, and then make it go back to all-time highs. When it hits that all-time highs of like $7.50, it starts to trickle back down and go down. It's like low fours, high threes, mid threes type of situation before gold starts to go back up again, because everything has to breathe. I'm going to show you how the breaths in the market. That's what I'm using these info lines for. I'll show you the breaths. It's the swing highs and to swing lows, and the higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, stuff like that. Like, it's very important to master the fundamentals. So from pivot high, pivot low. Again, pivot low, bottom of the graph, pivot high. And you see it went from bearish in consolidation and small pin bars and small candles, and it was still in indecision in the market, but bulls were in control. Bulls opened here, pushed up, sellers stepped in, tried to push down, closed here, sellers were in control, but bulls took back over, pushed up, sellers tried to step back in. So you see why it's indecision, because they're fighting. But when bulls are in control and bears are not really in control, you start to see more so green. When the sentiment been bullish for more than a certain amount of time, you start to go from yellow to green. That's why it changes like that. So we can go to the minor swing highs to swing lows, but just going bigger time frame, because I said this video is supposed to be 40 minutes and it's 50 minutes now. So I'm gonna finish breaking down the overall market structure with swing high to swing low, touch back on Bitcoin, and then go more into depth about more into depth. That my girl flames me for how I say that. More into depth about everything in my Robinhood video with my real time live account. So no simulations no more. You hear me? Still using this to monitor the market, but gonna be trading in Robinhood. I mess around and go on Weeble or something, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so swing high to swing low. But then you also have the smaller, when you peel back the layers and get deeper into it, that was swing high to swing low. But this, hold on, that's the lows. But this is also right there, swing high to swing low. And this is also a swing high to swing low inside of this big swing high to swing low. So that's why I tell you every time frame will change. Because if I go to the 1 minute time frame, you get more and more sentiment when you're on higher time frames. But the 1 minute and 5 minute and 15-minute time frame break it down more, peeling back the layers. That's why you see that one info line. So let me show you. And I'm gonna delete some of these so like I don't cloud up my chart because there's already a lot for y'all to focus on. It's already a lot for y'all to understand all at once. That's why I want to break it down as much as possible every time I upload. So let's delete majority of these because I got that point across, and hopefully y'all understand. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments or in the chat. But let's just focus on this one, this period of consolidation. And then from this period of consolidation, we're gonna go from this pivot high. We're not even gonna go all into October for real. We're gonna go from like October what 16th to this low that was made here on November 6th. November, yeah, Thursday, November 6th. So pivot high was made Thursday 10/16. Pivot low full because there's minor pivot lows and pivot highs and higher highs and higher lows and lower highs and higher highs and higher lows and lower highs and lower lows. Inside of this time frame within the space of the October 16th to November 6th, that Thursday. I don't know why it went down so low like that. I'm gonna have to delete this because it went down too low from where I was trying to put it at. So the 16th, bam. And November 6th, that wick down there. Damn, hit, man. All right, bam. So, and it took a period of 20 days for that to happen. It was a drop of 37% from pivot high to pivot low, and you'll most likely see the flame that I was explaining for the pivot low that was formed come right here or come right here, depending on which one the computer picks up better, or it was more sharp or it was lower. So with that being said, I'll explain this one from 1 minute up to 1 hour, but I'll start with this one, this period of consolidation from 1 minute, from 1 hour to 1 minute to 1 hour. So you see how on each time frame, in order to get this whole period consolidation, it's a lot more candlesticks. All of these candlesticks that you're seeing when I zoom in, all happen in 1 minute, versus the candlesticks on the 1 hour take 1 hour. How I broke that down earlier. So how I can sharpen up my info line, seeing this now, if I still want to use here, I'll put it on the actual candle. So bam, and I'll put the end of it on the most recent candle, right? Now with that being said, on the most recent candle, sharpened up the info line, still period consolidation, but it looked different on each time frame. And if I zoom in more, for me, looks similar, but it's gonna be less and less candlesticks to read. See what I mean? Hope y'all understand what I mean. 30-minute. Oh snap. 1 hour. And it's gonna get to a point whether on the 4 hour, the 4 hour is a couple candles. So it's either on the daily or the weekly, it'll be like 1 or 2 candles that measures that whole period in time from, let me take this alpha graph off because I broke that down and how supply and demand works. How supply and demand pushes price higher or lower, and I'll break it down further in later videos because it's a lot more than debate slope I went into. But just explaining the market structure and consolidation and swing highs and swing lows. The daily, it's like 4 candles, right? And this is from a period of the 28th, November 28th to today. Yeah, 12/4 Thursday, today. You see? And it's indecision on the daily. And you see how this one from the October 16th to November 6th, that pivot high to pivot low, how it took the 20 days and it was down 37%, but it's less candles to read the higher time for me go up. Right. And when I turn this on,
I'm gonna break down more supply and demand later, but just to let you see how the indicator works and why my trading strategy is profitable now. You see how the SARS and the computer reads this? So price came up, closed here, right? Bulls um bulls opened here, pushed up, seller stepped in. Somebody fire alarm going off. Seller stepped in, pushed price all the way down here, right? That's where it closed, but they really pushed all the way down here. Bulls stepped back in and pushed it up. That's why you see it yellow and indecisive like that. That's what it'll always change, and then it started to fluctuate down here, and it broke the demands that it formed, making that high, and started turning some of them to supply. The reason that some of these are green now instead of being still red like when this first happened, because now bulls stepped back in and broke the supplies and made them demand again, and it's pushing it back. So that's why it's still not red down here from when it first happened. It's now back green, and when they fight and bulls take over, like right now in this current candle on the 1 hour, the most active candle, $4.56. It has a no, this is the daily, my bad. It has 1 day and 46 hours left inside of this candle. Let's just go to the 1 hour because that's when I do my trades at. So the most current candle. Let's zoom in and get this explanation right. Okay. So $4.56 in the 1 hour time frame, this candle still has 17 minutes and 36 seconds left to form. Currently, price opened here. Bulls are in control and pushed it all the way up here. It's green on the SARS MACD. And from me knowing what traditional candlesticks look like, I know it's green as well. It's a green candle. It's a bullish candle. And it's pushing up. It could push up here, and how I just told you, it changed the color of the supply and demand area or zone, or a computer automated zone that it forms, instead of me having to form it manually, how I told you I can do as well on my own. When it forms it, it'll, how it made it from red to green, it'll come up here and do that to these as well. And that's how it shows you sentiment, because looking at it from a major scale, I have these lines and stuff for average price. So that red line, average price. This green line, average price. In some way, shape, or form, I was using it for average price in either a trade previously, or this trade currently, just monitoring a certain area on the chart. But the overall chart gives you specific data, right? So let's go 1 minute and show y'all the chart. And it will give you an indication of how you need to set up your trade and where your stop loss and take profit needs to be. So let me show y'all how I would do this. All right, 1 minute graph. Let me get the whole graph. Damn, I'm at an hour now. I'm gonna get to Bitcoin at some point and then end it off. Okay, so I know that it made its pivot low. Bull stepped in and it's been in consolidation in certain areas, but have been taking it to ceilings. It came up and made its pivot high here. You'll see a flame down there, right? You see the flame I was talking about earlier, and you see that wave emoji come somewhere here, here, or here, whichever pivot high takes, or whichever pivot high is the highest for the computer to use, it'll set the emoji there. Which means if I was to set an order, I would simply do this. I know when selling pressure is high and bears step in fully, it'll start to break demands. Whether I form them or the computer forms them, it'll be rising bearish volume. Right now it's rising bullish volume, but the bears are starting to step in and fight a little bit. You start to see a little indecision, some yellow from the indicator, but if I didn't have these indicators on, you would just see red or you just see green, right? Like this. In that gray area, how the computer does it, puts the gray area there for indecision, but that's not there if you don't use indicators. So with that being said, I would come right here for this demand block, and I'll put my order entry at the bottom of the demand block. So when the bears and selling pressure goes down, starts to sell off and breaks this demand area, my trade's active. So let's just say I want to start a sell or a bear or a put position. Put that there. I have my stop loss at the top, at the pivot high that was made at 458. And I'll have my take profit where? At the bottom. Stop loss 2400, take profit 8800, take profit 44. Take profit $4.44. Stop loss $4.58, and because it's a sell, that's why the science is like that, and it's currently at $4.56. With that being said, going higher time frame, going higher and higher time frame, I get to tweak, edit, and sharpen my order so that way I don't get wicked out and I'm subject to volatility. That's why I told you it's so important to find a good market for you. There's a market for everyone, but sometimes crypto is not the best market for everyone. I know people who trade crypto and make millions. I know people who trade crypto and lose a lot. I don't personally lose a lot, but I lose on crypto. I make and I lose, and I make and I lose. I want to be profitable. I want to make more than what I'm losing. I want to have big wins and small losses. With that being said, I want to put myself in position to be able to take advantage of proper price action, and I don't want to be subject to the volatility of crypto. So I'm on gold. I'm on gold until I find something that I like better than gold. You feel me? So coming, what did he say? Tell the unbelievers, if you have sought a judgment, then surely a judgment has come to you, and if you desist from disobedience, it is all the better for you. But if you revert to mischief, we will again chastise you and your hosts, house ever numerous. I hope I said that right. We will never be of any avail to you. All praise to the one God. I hope I'm not late to this message. How long did he send this in? But yes, that is factuals. We will want everybody to be properly following God, and want everybody to be properly doing what they're supposed to do for themselves and their families, and being a proper example and living in the Holy Spirit and properly following. Like you want to emulate Christ. You want to emulate Yahusha. With that being said, yes, if you desist from disobedience, it'll be all the better for you. I heavily agree with that part. But back to the charts, we definitely will get into that in a later video. In a later video, we definitely will get some Bible study going for sure, because I also want to do my part in evangelism. But let's focus on B2GOLD and then end it off with Bitcoin. So let's wait till it pops up. I can film it myself, but I'm gonna go with the computer because it's quicker. So again, still made its high from well, I messed that up, but anyway, it had made its low down here. You see that flame? You see that candle? Right. Coming all the way up here. It made its high. And the computer can use any one of these candles up here to make the wave emoji pop up for pivot high. And what's going to happen? It's already happening now. Supply is forming. Demand is breaking and it's making its way down. It's selling off. Bears are stepping in. So I would sharpen my stop loss. If I want it here, if I want it a little bit above, I will put it here. My entry. Still at the end. Right here. Still at the end. Still at the bottom of the demand block. The most recent demand block that price is about to crack through. Right? What will change is my take profit, because I know it has to make that pivot low or go further past it. So instead of being 8,800, my take profit would now change to 16. It would be a swing or a leap depending on how long it takes. And my new take profit, instead of being at I'll put it here. Instead of being at 44, instead of being at $4.44, it'll be at $4.36. A little change from $4.44 to $4.36, but a big amount, a big difference in the amount. It actually opened. That's funny. Hey, I'll let it run. And I'll show you back in a later video to further let y'all see how this one is going. I set this one with you guys. I might as well let it run, and letting it run I'll be able to show you guys more the science, the real time data, and how it's looking at a later date. So, and it opened what I had. That's funny. I didn't expect it to. Oh, and it closed my current position. The one I had for all time highs, it closed my current position. So you know what we gonna do? Seeing that I did this live and I changed it up live, you know what we gonna do? We gonna let that rock. It closed it. I took my take profit of 10 bands. I had a take profit of 200,000 at the all-time highs of $7.50 for it to make its way up from $4.55 to $7.50, and it didn't happen that way. It opened up a new sell, but the sell based on my trading strategy will work. And we gonna touch back on it later, monitor it, tweak out how necessary, and I'll keep y'all updated. But we gonna day trade it. Not about that, we gonna day trade it, and just because we're here and doing this live, I'll sharpen it. And I'll make this my last trade on paper trading account and then move on to the Robinhood. That's what we'll do. So, and I'll touch on Bitcoin next time in the Robinhood because I'm gonna go check on the kids. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it like that. Let's not go 30 minutes. Let's go. Let's go 30 minutes. Widen that stop loss. It might be a day trade. It might be a swing trade. So now my stop loss is at $4.68, right? My loss I would take about this trade was to close and I was to get wicked out and it was to shoot through that ceiling will be $1,300. So $1,300. Now what would change is my position is active and it would just change from where it is now at $4.36. I'll pull it down for the low that was made at $3.71. How I briefly talked about earlier where this red line came from. Where this red line right here came from. See how I'm moving it? I put this red line here way before, like days ago. And the pivot low that was made at that red line, I'll put my take profit there at 371, 370. And it'll take me a take profit of 8,700. 8 bands, 8,784. Currently negative 100. But zooming in, you see why. Currently, sellers are trying to step in, but bulls are active. Where I opened and where it is now. So we're gonna see. We're gonna check back on it. You feel me? We're gonna check back on it. We're gonna check back on it. We're gonna check back on it. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything that I want to go over right now. The pivot low that was made here. Matter of fact, I'll go alpha. I said I'll go alpha. Let me auto the screen, zoom in, and then take it back. Right here. This low that was made. It keeps making me edit my take profit. Okay. This low that was made right here at $3.70 on November 21st at 8:30 a.m. Right? As soon as market opened, what happened? Market opens at 8:30 a.m. What happened? See what I mean? So it's stuff like that where it's like you follow fundamentals and technical analysis. It keeps you as sharp as possible, keeps you on your toes, keep you accountable, keep you out your emotions, keep you straight risk management. And once you find a passive, systematic trading strategy and approach to the market, there's really no cap to how far you can go. Aaliyah Carter, hey, how are you? I'm good. I'm chilling. All praise to the one God. Whether you speak in secrecy or aloud, it is the same to Allah. He even knows the secrets, the lie hidden in the breast of people. Truthfully, yes, that's facts. My bad. I didn't see that real time. Y'all messages real time. I was trying to break down the chart, but yeah. So we'll touch back on this position and go more into to detail and live documentation. A&L, full screen this a little bit more. Just bring you back out because I actually need you. You know what I mean? Still at 316K overall portfolio. Didn't want that position to close, but it's okay for purposes of live instruction. I'm okay with that. I'm trying to minimize the channel. There we go. Minimize the channel. Trying to bring this down. All right, here. Yeah, that's good. And then that's the real-time candle. Both screens are on auto. We gonna zoom in. And right now it's 1:26. Market closes out 30 p.m. It's 1:26 p.m. So with that being said, it's not gonna be long till market closes. It's in stagnation currently. Real-time candlestick, info line. It is in consolidation for 6 days and 4 hours now. When do I think this will break and fully start to sell off? I ain't gonna lie, probably Monday. It's Thursday, Friday, gold fluctuation throughout part of the weekend, and then markets open back up. Probably Monday we start to see that sell off. And hey, we can reverse the position if gold has other plans, you know what I mean? But yeah, so with that being said, and going over all that to the best of my ability currently, when we hop back on TradingView, we'll touch back on the live documentation of that current position. My Robinhood will be next after that, and before we do the live documentation of my B2GOLD position, I'll fully break down what my approach to crypto is going to be going forward. I might just be like a dollar cost average buy and hold type of investor going forward with crypto. So I don't want to cut it out. I would never cut it out. The way the future is looking and where we're heading as a species, I wouldn't cut it out. But I would definitely dollar cost average. I'd be a long-term investor. I don't see it selling off crazy. I personally see gold. Let's go to 1 month. What am I doing? Let's go to the 5 minute. I personally see. I don't see it selling off crazy. I personally see it stagnating and it's starting to pick back up again. I'm gonna take advantage of that intraday sell-off on B2GOLD that I showed y'all. But I'm long-term bullish on B2GOLD still. But yeah, man, I don't see Bitcoin going to that 50, 60,000 that everybody's panicking about. Involving too much emotion in what should be fundamental approach. But yeah. XRP at $2.08, H bar at 13 cents, pump at So yeah, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in, spending time with the boy, going over going over all of these things with me. And if you're new to the channel or learning trading as we go, feel free to leave any questions in the comments and get at me whatever confusions y'all may have or anything we can learn together that I may not know. I can teach myself and be able to help y'all understand it. And if you already are trading, if you already experience, if you already have prior experience, please get in the comments, DM me, talk in chat, help me, help myself, help other people who don't know, and reflect and bounce ideas off of you as well, because each one teach one. I feel like I can learn anything from anybody. I can learn something from a crackhead, an old person, somebody on their deathbed, a 5-year-old, a baby, an animal. I can learn something from a teacher. I can learn something from anybody. So with that being said, I'm never reluctant to be taught and informed and educated. So if you know more about trading than me, or you feel like I missed anything throughout the video, please enlighten me so I can further learn and expand my knowledge, so I can further help other people who are eager to learn as well. But yeah, this consolidation so real, bro. I'm still negative 103, and I opened it this position at negative 103 for me. So yeah, gold is in heavy stagnation. But yeah, peace, blessings, love, and light to everyone. I pray for everyone's mentality. I pray for everyone's health. I pray for everyone's spirituality. I pray for everyone to have a peace of mind in this current economy and life and society that we're living in. Stay focused, stay steadfast, stay healthy, stay out the way, and take care of your family and spread love. Please, please, please. Love you guys. I'll see y'all later, chat. I'll see y'all later, YouTube. And yeah, man, hit me with any questions. I'm out. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. You feel me? This is the real ending. This is actually the end. Hour and 18 minutes. Holy.